What's going on, guys? It's Will Blendon. I love when it's not sunny out because I don't get that glare that's in my videos from the sun. I am the YouTuber that nobody knows, but I'm gonna put out videos anyway until you know me. Again, my name is Will Blendon. Good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is when you see this video. I did a couple of videos about Trip, so we're over that. We're done. Let's move on from that. I'm trying not to talk about too much about this coronavirus. Excuse me. You know, because it's tempting. It's getting those people a lot of views. A lot of people getting more views on their channel than they ever have their total time on YouTube. Just because coronavirus is a big topic. I try to focus on business videos. We're talking about business, starting businesses, stuff like that. But sometimes I'll drift off topic and, you know, I talked about the pandemic a little bit. Good news for me, the group home thing seems to be working out. I just started that. I was afraid with this coronavirus that there would be like a case in the building or something like that. They're assuring me that nobody has cases, and they want me to work multiple sites. So I'm in high demand. I guess apparently with the group homes, there's a large population of female staff. What they need is more male staff. So they're really short-handed on male staff. So if you guys are looking for a job, group homes are always looking for more men. For whatever reason, only women are applying for these jobs. If you want to get out of this financial rut and actually get a job, some of you rather just collect unemployment because you believe it's going to make you richer, probably. You know what I mean? For some of you, it probably will. You're probably going to get more unemployment than you did at your job with this new stimulus stuff going on. The government's trying to get more money because the business ones, I guess they ran out of money. And I did apply. The way it looks, Uber drivers are entitled to the least $1,000 for being a business owner. You know, I wish it was the 10. I'd be very excited if it was the 10. Because that would really give me money to put into my holding company that I'm planning on. For those of you who don't know, I've been talking a lot about holding companies. Because I believe the holding company, along with the right partners and 5 checking accounts to segregate your money, I believe you'll be on your way to financial freedom. And as long as you just have a job to put some funds in your holding company and do something on the side. I have Uber and Lyft, so I will have always side hustle money to put in a business or a holding company. So once this job kicks in and starts paying me a reasonable amount, they're actually paying more because of this pandemic. They're paying $1 more than normal, which is nice. And they're talking about giving me all types of overtime. And my plan wasn't to get a job, but I'm not afraid to do a job to get ahead in business, if that makes sense. And a lot of you shouldn't even quit your job while you're doing this stuff. Get your holding company going, build it, fund it. I want to have at minimum 10 grand in my holding company, and every month clients either emailing me or calling me before I actually will say, okay, I don't need a job. That's where I'm going. Where I don't need a job and I don't need to no longer do Uber and Lyft. But until then, I'm going to get this holding company going, fund it with as much money as I can. I want to minimum of 10 grand in there, because I'm going to pay myself probably about 5 grand a month. When I'm all said and done, I want to be bringing in 10 grand a month, but I want to pay myself 5 grand a month. I know that sounds like a lot, and some of you big ballers, it sounds like nothing. So it's pretty relative on how you're living right now. 5 grand to me, because I'm in that bottom stage, I would be on top of the world. I'd be good. You know, obviously I'm going to level up and try to get that 5 grand I'm paying myself to 10, but if it takes a year, even 2 years to get there, I'm good. I'm fine with that. My ultimate goal really is only to pay myself probably at the most 50 grand a year, and the rest I want in my companies. I don't want to ever make myself look too rich. Even if I'm doing well and successful, I probably would, even if I was making like $1 million a year, I probably would only pay myself $100,000 personally to myself. And some of you are probably thinking, yo, that's too low. No, it's not, because the businesses are going to fund my lifestyle. So I don't really need a lot of money personally. All my bills are going to be basically tax write-offs for business. Think about it. I use my cell phone for business. I use my car for business. The only thing I probably need personal money for is food and clothes. That's it. My home is going to be under business. All my cars are going to be under a business. Insurance under the business. Most of my credit cards will be under the business. I may have one, my goal is to have one nice personal card. I would love that Chase Sapphire personally, an MIZ black card, and that's it. And the rest will be business cards. $100,000 and your business is paying for your lifestyle, you're gonna feel rich. Even if some people say financially on paper you're not rich, because on paper you're not rich. If you have you're making $100,000 a year, and your business has all the other money. On paper, you look probably high middle class, especially with this pandemic. Normally, I would just be regular middle class, but that's like high middle class, because this pandemic is going to cause a lot of people financial hardships. But $100,000 in business paying for everything, you could basically, not that I ever plan on doing this, but you could basically waste money out of your own personal funds, and your business is good. You know, if you're making $1 million a year and you're only paying yourself $100,000, you're straight. In your mind, you know you're rich. It doesn't matter what other people will think. I don't ever want to look rich to you guys. Even if I get rich, I don't ever want to look rich, because that's when the problems come. That's when you get the gold digger chicks, and you get people trying to sue you every other day. And I don't think this is going to happen like this. I think I will get to probably 50 grand a year quick, and then I'll be pretty much at a standstill for a while until I figure out how to flip that, either with more properties or more business. But that's okay. 50 grand, I'm going to feel middle class with 50 grand a year. Once I get to the point where I can pay myself personally 50 grand a year, I'm going to feel high middle class with that, because my business is going to pay for everything else. Remember, that 50 grand only has to take care of maybe food and minor personal bills, which I can't even think any personal bills I'm going to have. My cell phone's business. I probably would even do like the internet under the business. So I'm just looking at clothes and food that I probably would be personally paying for. 50 grand a year is more than enough for that. You know, I probably would keep maybe one car personally in my name, you know, just for show. probably whatever the most raggediest vehicle I have at the time will be my personal vehicle. That'll be the car that, you know, say I want to go date some chick and she happens to be in a hood. That'll be the car I take. Any lease vehicles I get, any really nice brand new vehicles I'm using will be under the business. Any commercial vehicles will be under the business. You know? It'll probably be this car that I'm already in now, the Chevy Trax. This will probably just stay my personal vehicle. And I'll probably put all the other new vehicles under a company. So I don't think it's a good idea to keep a lot of vehicles in your name. In your own personal name, anyway. You know, so I probably would keep one vehicle that I probably drive very little in my name, which will probably be this, because once I get to the level I'm talking about, I got to give this car a break. You know, Uber and Lyft is killing it. You know, I probably would be doing the transportation in newer vehicles, so it won't be this one. But I am looking for the right partners right now, which is not going to be an easy task, because I don't want to just look for employees. I want to look for potential partners. I want to look for the people that I can bring into my organization. I know I'm going to hire at least one dumb person that just does basic shit for me. You know, I know dumb is a harsh word, but somebody less educated than myself, I'm just going to have around me, get coffee, do errands, stuff like that. There's going to be at least one of those. But I want to have at least one person for every operating company I do that has some level of intelligence, preferably smarter than I am. You know, I would love a techie guy to help me with my media company. Really smart, really techie. The problem is with these smart people, if they're untrustworthy, they can bring down your whole operation. Because, you know, these tech guys are smart. You know, you fire them or have a disagreement with them, they can bring down your whole operation. Because they're going to have access to all your media stuff. So it has to be the right person, just really trustworthy. It'll probably be a while before I give them any full control. Because remember, this is the person that can bring down everything through social media. So that's definitely got to be somebody you're not involved with, dating, anything. Because you don't want to get in a personal argument and they bring down everything. So that's somebody strictly business. Preferably the nerdy type that doesn't know how much their knowledge is worth. And it's not that you're going to take advantage of them. You just don't want them, because if they knew what you knew, they would just go open their own business. So you still have the advantage over them. So once they come smart enough and aware, hey, I could be doing all this for myself, that's when you say, look, I can bring you in as a partner on this media company. You know, and you want to be generous, 50-50. You know, even though they started out as an employee, give them half the company. Half. Because ultimately that person is going to do all the work for you. You know, you just want to be there to manage them, maybe make some hiring decisions. Every now and then check their accounting, make sure the money's right. And now you have a successful media company. I'm looking for somebody really techie, preferably somebody that did that Fiverr stuff. You know, where they do stuff like set up your Twitter account and set up your Instagram. One of those types. Because they're going to control all my media stuff. Because when I'm out there in the field and I'm looking for real estate and trying to do new businesses, I don't want to focus on this stuff. You know, I'm still going to do videos, but I don't want to be the one uploading all this stuff to Facebook and YouTube. And I just want to be able to, come on, you ready? He got the camera equipment already set up. And and be like, go, Will, shoot. And then I just do a video and he edits it and have the nice little introductions in the beginning of the video. That's all gonna happen on this channel eventually. You know, just like Trip, I'm running out of money. You know, I still didn't get my stimulus. But I'm gonna try to hire the right people for each operating company. Bring them in as a partner. And then they won't feel cheated because your goal is the same goal that they want. They want to become financially free, and you're gonna help them do that. You know, I have the resources as far as helping them get their credit repaired, get corporate credit. You're gonna help them with all that, which is easy for me because that's what I specialize in. If that's all I gotta do and they do the day-to-day, I'm good. Every now and then they'll call me up, oh, we're running out of money, we might need to do this. We can take out a loan. Because I want each and one of my operating companies to individually have their own corporate credit. In the beginning, you want to have corporate credit only on your holding company. And then you're going to use some of your holding company credit to fund some of these operating companies. Now, once those operating companies are off and running and they're doing their own thing, then you can now go ahead and start focusing on your corporate and business credit on the individual companies, operating companies. Now you have double or triple the buying power. So you may get to the point one day where there's a big project, let's say a condominium complex. You want to purchase the whole thing. It's like you'll get financing for it, but you have to put down 20% of $1 million. And you don't have enough corporate credit on just the holding company to make that happen. You may go in and just go get the money from all your operating companies. They're going to send the money up to your holding company, so now you have the funds you need. Because your operating companies are owned by your holding company. So your holding company can have it where you use the money, go purchase that property or building, and then start a whole nother operating company to hold that asset. Very doable. And I know I talk like everything's like this, but it is going to take some time. But the older I get, it's really weird because you would think young people would have all the patience in the world because you're young. But it's the opposite. Young people are very impatient. The older I get, the more patient I am. I used to have no patience. Like the stimulus money, 20 years ago, I would have damn near killed somebody because I didn't get my stimulus money right away. I have all the time in the world. I'm going to keep grinding, keep hustling while I'm waiting for it. But when you're young, you don't think like that. You know, the older I get, I have patience. I have all the patience in the world. Just like I got patience for the right team I'm going to bring together. Because if I get the wrong people, it's going to be like my last relationship. It's going to crumble. You know? And I don't want that to happen. I'm going to try to bring in the right people from RIP. And then the people, obviously, there's going to be people you bring on there, you know they're not a good fit to be your partner. But you can still keep them around with a position that they're happy with in the company. You're still going to need managers. You're still going to need day-to-day people. You know, you're still going to want people around that can keep it real with you. I want that one person around, even if I got to pay them, they'll just keep it real with me. They'll be like, no, well, I don't believe you should do this. No, you're stupid for this. Because you're going to have a lot of people kissing up to you. They're just going to tell you what you want to hear. And I don't want those types. I want the people that are going to keep it real with me and keep me grounded. I want at least one person poorer than myself to keep me grounded and remind me what it was like to go through the struggle, so my head don't get too big. Because it's like the last time I had a large sum of money, I lost control. I wasn't prepared to handle it, so I messed up a lot of money. You know, I think I learned from that mistake, but just to be sure, you want to have that one person around you to keep you grounded that's not going to try to take advantage of the fact you have money. You know, because usually people like that try to take advantage of you having money. And the way I say compensate them is to give them a position, give them something that is meaningful to them to do day to day, where they are an arm's length around you, and you can still compensate them, give them some type of work, something to do to keep them occupied. Because you can't just pay somebody and just have them standing around. You can't do that. They have to be doing some type of function, some type of position, where they're around you, but they have a position. You know, whether that be personal assistant is a good example, where they can, you know, answer some phones, make some coffee, stuff like that, but they ready to check you and be like, look, you don't need to be like that. You know what I mean? You need that one person around you. And that's going to be hard to find if you're like me, that kind of lost all my friends. I'm not even on that successful level yet, and I've lost all my friends, because the realest people don't have a lot of friends around, I believe. But I will guarantee that I will have friendships built as I'm building these companies. You're going to grow friendships. You're going to become friends with your partners. And when I say partners, I'm not talking multi-level marketing or network marketing people that you're working with. I'm not talking about those type of partners. I'm talking about real conventional business partners, where you have a mutual agreement and a LLC or corporation, a real partnership. That's like a marriage. So you want it to be the right people. You can't just bring aboard anybody. And there are going to be people you bring aboard. The first person I bring aboard, say my transportation company, he might not be a good fit, but he may be able to manage some things while I'm looking for the right person. You know? Or he might have other good qualities, like he likes to drive all day long and make you bring in money. Whatever. It does bother me that I no longer believe that I can, other than my daughter, I don't believe I can ever work with family ever again, because of the bad situation I had doing business with my brother. It's my blood brother. He's the second oldest, or middle child, whatever you want to call it. I did business with him. And you'll find that if you work with a family member, that he's always going to believe he's on your level. And I'm the older brother, but he believes he knows more. You know, and I will give him, he had his qualities. He was the harder worker. He was the hardest physical worker in my family. Physically, any business that I did, I always thought that he'd be the person to like fire somebody if I didn't want to fire him, because he was ruthless, he was heartless. I'm just now having people tell me he was a narcissist, and I didn't know this growing up. I wasn't around him for some period of time, for a couple of years, but I always believed he'd be the person I'd go in and be like, yo, go fire Sean, go fire this person. Because he was heartless. He didn't have as much. I'm more of a compassionate person. So I'm easy to take advantage of. So I thought he'd be that person I'd want by my side to tell me, no, you should do this, no, you should do that. But he tried to become the one that would try to tell me what to do, but it wasn't beneficial to the company. It was only beneficial to himself, which is why the money we had just got depleted so fast, because he just wanted to spend. He didn't have a job. Remember, I said you can't quit your job right away when you're doing this stuff. He quit his job, didn't go out and get another one. And I didn't go out and get a job neither, but I had Uber and Lyft. He was not going to be the one to drive and bring in some money. So everything fell apart because he blamed me for mismanagement of the money, but he's spending up most of the money. I'm spending money, but I'm going to day-to-day stuff, gas, the electric bill, the cable bill. And meanwhile, he's just spending money on Jordans and shit, coming in with nice shades to match his clothes. And it was a big mess. I didn't want to go into that. But I got older videos talking about the whole story, about how that was my rise and fall all within the same time. Because it was the first time I successfully liquidated somebody's 401k. It was my brother. But it was right after he was either fired or let go. But it's still up in the air, the true story. But I believe he quit because he felt embarrassed about the situation. You know, that's probably for another video. But anyway, other than my daughter, who's probably the most responsible in the family, even more so than myself, I will never do business with another family member. Now, my daughter, she's really the person I should put in place as far as being that second heir to go to and be like, keep me grounded and tell me, Dad, maybe you shouldn't make this decision. She should be the one. And she would never take advantage of me. Not financially. She would never take advantage of me. Now her sister, who's not my biological daughter, but I treat her as such, would be the one that would financially take advantage of me. I'm hoping they're not watching this video, because I'm going to keep it real. She's just like her mother. She would financially take advantage of me. Very pretty. I love her, but she's a person I definitely don't want near me on a day-to-day basis. She would just have me spend. And can never be in control of any company I ever built. But I do want a position under her sister where she always has a job provided. So I'm going to eventually try to find something she could do. But she will never have any real management control. She would just take advantage of the whole situation. But I still love her. So I consider I only have 2 kids, even though biologically I only have 1. And my daughter is amazing. I could probably trust her with any amount of money. If I won a lotto tomorrow for $1 million, I could literally hand her over the money and probably be in the hospital for 6 months and come out, and she would probably only spend the bare necessities. Even though she could use a lot more. Where the other one would be like, I would come out and probably have maybe a few grand left. You know, she's that bad. But I probably rant on long enough. I just wanted to give you guys an inside look on my life and how things are going. Ramping up more videos. That's my goal right now, is to get this media company putting out more and more content during this downturn. You know, because the sooner I can monetize this channel, the better. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and comment. Click that bell icon. and I will catch you guys in the next one.